Something interesting. Before we begin, Reb Zundel Misalant. So he was a Talmud Muvhak in the city of Salant. He was a Talmud Muvhak of Reb Chaim Volozhin. And he was a Rebbe Muvhak of Reb Yisrael Salanter. Reb Zundel Misalant, he stood right between Nefesh HaChaim and the Reb Yisrael Salanter, founder of the Musar movement. Reb Zundel Misalant wrote a little sefer, which I've been trying to find for years, which is all of the Kavanas HaNefesh HaChaim in Tefillah. It's a practical way to daven according to the Nefesh HaChaim. It's interesting. So I just finally found that sefer, and we should learn it together. Let's learn a little bit of Shar Beis, which is Yonim of Tefillin.
What's the name of the sefer?
It's called Seder HaTefillah Shel Rabbi Zundel Salant Al Pi Nefesh HaChaim. The creative title, yeah. I'm in the I'm in the book business, and I always tell authors that when we come up with these names for books, that the best name for a book, if you want it to sell, is the one that describes the book itself, right? If you're writing a Pirush of Medrash Rabbah, call it Pirush of Medrash Rabbah, and everybody will buy it. If you're calling it Or Hatzafun, okay. So this is called just an interesting thing, but it's actually in here, in this book you have, Yitzhak. That's where I found it. In here, but in the Chelek Beis, he has the Siddur of Reb Zundel Misalant.
Chelek Beis, yeah?
I think it's a Chelek Beis, yeah. Okay, now, back L'Inyanenu, which is very, maybe difficult, but very important in Yana.
It has a Siddur, but not the Pirush.
It has the Pirush.
Oh.
What we're trying to do here is to try to bring some pretty serious, maybe Kabbalistic ideas to a very down-to-earth place where we can understand it, digest it, and enjoy it, daven properly. I just want to say this is important because it might be the difference between davening like an Eved Hashem and davening like an Apakaris. It might be that serious. Wow. So you can imagine, like one of my nightmares. Imagine like you spend hours and hours a week, or maybe even a day, in your whole life, and you're davening, and come to Shemayim, and say, oh, you're just an Apakaris. What are you davening to? Like Oivdei Avodah Zarah are also davening all day long. So you've got to be careful how we're davening. So in the end of Perek Beis, I just want to take you through a very short journey today to understand Perek Gimel Al Pi Perek Beis. That in the last line of Perek Beis, Shar Beis Perek Beis, which we talked about last time, V'zeh Amar Arizal, everything that I've said until now, you can find synopsized in the words of the Arizal Bilshonei HaKodesh, Huva b'Hakdamas Bri'etz Chaim, Shekol HaKinuyim v'Hashemos, Hem Shemos HaAtzviyos, HaMispashtos B'Sfiros. Sounds like a complicated sentence. I believe that this sentence is underlinable and emphasized. This is really the whole hashkafa of the Nefesh HaChaim, which was, by the way, the understanding of the Gra, which is important as follows. So the dilemma, let me repeat the dilemma. The dilemma is that we can't understand Hashem, period. But it says that when you daven, Dalif Nemiata Oimei. So it's very complicated to me, because how do you daven and say Dalif Nemiata Oimei when there's no hasaga at all in HaKadosh Baruch Hu? I mean, who are we fooling here? And I think that the Pasha Teretz, which I mentioned last time, which I believe is emes and will stay emes, is that Dalif Nemiata Oimei is possible. Even a simple Jew who's not a philosopher, not a makubal, can stand in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and daven and be Makayim Dalif Nemiata Oimei, because you don't daven with your seichel, you daven with your heart. Eza Avodah Shebelev Zu Tefillah. If you're davening with your seichel, is the difference between the mind and the heart is the mind has limitations, the heart has no limitations. No limitations. You can keep on going and going and going. Ragesh, emotion. So Avodah Shebelev Zu Tefillah. davening with your seichel is altogether wrong. Not that you should be, davening stupidly. That's not what it means. But davening with hasaga is wrong. So here you have a dichotomy in the sense that you can stand in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I have no hasaga at all when I'm standing in front of anybody who thinks they have hasaga. The minute that you begin to imagine what is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you imagine it like a child, he's got a long white beard and he looks like a king, or so right away, buzz, you're out. Like that's completely wrong. If you don't imagine anything, first of all, who has the koach not to imagine anything? Like that's even harder than imagining something. Like to imagine zero, that's not zero is infinity. Zero is you can't divide by zero, right? So it's an infinite number. So it's impossible to imagine nothing. Something is going to fill that gap. So I'm in a dilemma how to daven. So the first step is stop davening with your head. It's not a mathematical experience. It's a lave experience, and what this Masha Seichel Einei Masig Halev Yochel Lahasig. Lashon, by the way, of Rabbi Yehuda Levi. Masha Seichel Einei Masig Halev Yochel Lahasig. Because one is limited. Like, how many pounds can I lift up? I'm very, very strong. 5 pounds, 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds. How much can I lift up already? The answer is that I'm limited to my kilos, but in my heart, I'm not limited to anything. I can fly in my heart. I can levitate in my heart. I can do whatever I want in my heart. So the davening is avodah shebelev. That's the Huda one. Yeah.
When somebody doesn't understand Perish and Milan, just understand he's standing before HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he's writing Ivra. Is that avodah shebelev?
Yeah.
It's
not Ketakonas Chazal.
When we Ravadim Mitzrayim, that's what we did. That's how we got out.
Shavosenu.
Right.
Batal Shavosam El Hashem, Shavosam El Hashem. And so say the Rishonim, what's it Shavos? And they weren't davening Mincha in Mitzrayim. The Batal Shavosam El Hashem. A Shava, which we say the Ono B'choyach Tefillah, a Shava is a Tefillah that we don't even know we're davening. Ad Kedei Kach, it's Tamun B'leit. Let me go further.
If it's not the Konas Chazal, what are you saying?
I'm saying that you're not Makayim the mitzvah the way Chazal told you to do it, but it doesn't mean you're not Makayim the mitzvah. So the Nusach is Midrabanon, the Pirush HaMilim is Midrabanon. But not the Rabbanon that this is Rabbanon, this is Deraisa. But you're not doing it the way the Rabbanon told you to do it. So the way to do it the way the Rabbanon told you to do it is take the Dalach Nemeyato Oimed and understand what you're saying. Because those words are your peasant.
What are you telling Amar?
So one second, I don't want to go there right now. That's too embarrassing. What we're talking about now, though, to take it to a more specific level, that's why I don't want to get lost here, is you find by Moshe Rabbeinu that Moshe Rabbeinu stood by the sneh, and by the sneh, he said to Hashem, they're going to ask me what your name is. What should I tell them? He went to Mitzrayim, made things worse. The Torah tells us. He came back by Yoshev Moshe El Hashem. After this was already in Parshas, the end of Parshas Shmos, the very end of Parshas Shmos, by Yoshev Moshe El Hashem. We don't know, as I pointed out, where he went back to. Did he go back to the Ma'aseh Sneh? Did he go to Har Sinai? Where did he go? But he came back. Did he go? Was he in Mitzrayim? Out of Mitzrayim? Went to his house? Went to Shul? We don't know. By Yoshev Moshe El Hashem, and he said, "Lama Hariyos Lama Zeh." Why are you making things worse? You sent me to Mitzrayim to help. Not only I didn't help, or you didn't help, but you made it worse. The whole situation got worse. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, "Don't worry, now you'll see. Now you'll see." Comes Parshas Va'era. Turn the page to Parshas Va'era. We're familiar with this. We just did this a couple weeks ago. Turn the Parshas to Parshas Va'era. El Avram, El Yitzchak, El Yaacov. Shmi Hashem Lo Nodati Lahem. They never asked me your name. I never told them my name. And then he goes on to say his name. A chumash? Shmos? Is he behind you, by your hand? There. Let's get the lashon clear. Okay. Ushmi Hashem Lo Nodati Lahem. Thank you very much. Let's get it very, very clear because it's very duyak here. The end of Shmos. Vayoshev Moshe El Hashem. Went back to Hashem. Vayoymar. Adonai, lama harios, lama zeh, lama zeh shlachtana mi'az basi el parei l'daber b'shmecha, heira lo mazeh, you made everything worse, v'hatzel lo yitzelta samecha. V'yomer Hashem el Moshe, atos yirana, you will see, asher esel l'farei ki b'yad chazaki yishalchim, b'yad chazaki yigarshim mi'artzeh. Now you're going to see some real heavy action over here. V'yidaber Elokim el Moshe, further, v'yomer elav, ani Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is, for those that know, the shame of Rachamim. Va'era el Avram vel Yitzchak vel Yaakov b'kel Shakai. Different name. when I appeared to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, it was always Shakai, Shin Daled Yud, which is the name of the Bria Soilim. It seemed to be good enough for them to understand that I'm the creator. Must be. What else do you want? I'm the creator. No, you want more. Because you created, Moshe Rabbeinu is begging for Hashgacha Pratis. I want to know where are you today? They say a rabbi is only as good as his last drasha. The Rabbeinu Shalom, I created the world, like Lo speak, like what? I created the world.
What else do you
It's
want?
not bad, right? Not just the Earth and the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, Jupiter, Mars, the Moon, everything. They were good with that. Kel Shakai. Misha Amar Lo Elamai Dai. That's what Rashi says in Precious. Shmi Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the shame of Hashgacha Pratis. I'm taking care of you. There's Rachamim. There's Chesed. Spherois, what we call in simple Kabbalistic language, spherois, the prisms that stand where the Or Hashem comes into this world, and you can see some chesed, you can see some din, you can see some gevurah, etc. It was enough that I made a bris with the avos. That was based on my creative ability. I gave them Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Canaan, Eretz Megurim, Shagar, V'gam ani shamati es nakas b'nei Yisrael, and I'm also, you understand, I'm hearing the tefillas of Klal Yisrael, so I'm here. What's Hashem saying? I'm sorry to put it in such simple language, but just Ani po, ani nimsa. I'm listening. I heard the tefillas. You're standing here by the Sneh. You came. You went to Mitzrayim. I'm involved. Yes, ani. Eskar Esprisi. I'm still remembering that bris. So it goes beyond creation. L'chein emar l'bnei Yisrael. So tell the Bnei Yisrael like this: Ani Hashem. So here he gives them a whole busser about how stop asking me my name. And he says, Ani Hashem, I am Yud Kei Vav Kei. Let's drink 4 cups to that, right? Go alti, B'zreina tu yishadim, go lo kachti eschem lilam. V'hayisi lachem leloikim. New name. Yud Kei Vav Kei is the name of Rachamim. I will be there for Elokim also. Elokim is the shame of the Bria. Bereshis bar Elokim is Hashemayim B'sar. It's also the name of Din. Din meaning not that Hashem is mean, but Din meaning there's a Seder. Ish Seder. Teva. There's a Seder. It's a good thing. We think it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. If water would go up one time and not go down, we'd all go nuts. Like imagine you take a relaxing walk in the park and all of a sudden the water starts going the other way. It's not relaxing. You don't know what's going on if you're in, if you're Alice in Wonderland. Like, what's going on over here? So there's a teva. The world goes. You can rely on. This is what it means. You can rely on the fact that in a minute it's going to be pretty much the same as it was a minute ago. Unless something big has to happen, like Kriyas Yamsuf. V'yadatem, you will know ki ani Hashem Elokeichem amoti eschem mitachas sivlois Mitzrayim. So here you have a shiluv of the Shem Hashem and the Shem Elokim. Ve'vesi eschem el oretz asher nasasi es yadi l'seisis el Avram l'Yitzchak l'Yaakov v'nasati yosem lochem mo'rosh ani Hashem. I am Hashem. V'yidaber Moshe Keno b'nei Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu went back and said this to b'nei Yisrael, but lo'ishamu al Moshe mikotz yeruach me'avodah kasha. So the subtle question here is that first HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives this hakdama of saying Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov never asked my name. Why ask my name? And then he tells them Ani Hashem. Okay, tell the Bnei Yisrael, Yud Kei Vav Kei, and then he ends off by saying, before he said by the Sneh, that Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, or if you want to say it from Eke Asher Eke. Meaning, I have a lot of names. What's the Pashut Pshat in all of this? That there's Atzmusa, that's like 2 dinim here. There's Atzmusa Yisbarach, there's Hashem itself, and then there's how he manifests himself in our world. How he manifests himself in our world are different Shemos of Hashem. That's what Shemos of Hashem, Elikim, Keil, Shakai, Yud, Kei, Vav, Kei, etc. These are different manifestations of Hashem. The Atzmius of Hashem you're not going to understand. So you can understand the Shemos. So what we started off with, the Avos is no Shemos, follow me here, no Shemos of Hashem. They're just, then we got to Moshe Rabbeinu saying, what am I going to tell Bnei Yisrael? Shemos of Hashem. And then Hashem was Megala, his Shemos, which are his manifestations. And then, fast forward to Har Sinai, and Moshe, and the Maisa of the Egel, and the Maisa of Tshuva, and Moshe Rabbeinu goes up for another 40 days, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, on Yom Kippur, Solachti Kidvarecha, the Seder, I forgive you, that's why Yom Kippur's on that day, Solachti Kidvarecha, right? Allah, Rosh Chodesh Elul, stayed there for 40 days, Yom Kippur, Solachti Kidvarecha, Yom Slicha Mechila, and then Moshe Rabbeinu says, the going is good, Hareini Noes Kavoidcha. Let me see what you look like. So what's he going? Where is he going? Let me take this a step further now. Rabbeinu Shalom. We went from nothing. Here he's working. He's working God. We went from nothing to Eke Asher Eke, which is very vague, whatever it is, to specific Shemos in Parshas Ve'era, to Parshas Kisisa. This is what happens through Shmais, where he says, Hareini Noes Kavoidcha. And this HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells them, no. Lo Yirani Ha'adam V'chai. Meaning, I don't want to know only what you do. We got that. I want to know what you are. Hareini Noes Kavoidcha. Lo Yirani Ha'adam V'chai. I mentioned the Rambam. The Rambam says the pshat is not that if you see me you're going to get some kind of a heart attack or a stroke or something because you saw too much. No, Lo Yirani Adam V'chai. You're still a chai, Moshe Rabbeinu. You're still a chai. Lo Yirani Adam V'chai. As long as you're a chai, you can't see me because sof kol sof you're limited. Your seichel is limited. No matter how great you are, even Moshe Rabbeinu, you're still basar v'dam. And a basar v'dam has a limited seichel. I told you you can see the manifestations, but you can't see me. Lo Yirani Adam V'chai. The Nefesh HaChaim at the beginning of Gimel, just to get this a little bit, starts off with a medrash rabbah on everything that I just described to you. Humay Maramzal b'shmois rabbah parsha Gimel. Let's look at this medrash. Elikei aviseichem shlachani aleichem. Tell the Jewish people that the God of the Jewish people sent you to me. Oisa shah nisbar Moshe halasaga. Moshe Rabbeinu started to negotiate. Halasaga. Oisa shah yemavakish Moshe shiyodieni HaKadosh Baruch Hu es Hashem HaGadol. I want to know the Shem HaMefarish. What's the Shem HaMefarish? By the way, what does Mefarish mean? Shem HaMefarish, we always use that word. What does it mean?
Explicit.
No, but that's not what Mefarish means. Outright. Explicit. I want to know the Pirush. Mefarish. When you say something Mefarish explicitly is better than... When I say something Mefarish, I want to know the Shem HaMefarish. I want to know the shame, not of what you do, of what you are. Amar Lai HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Moshe, so Hashem said to Moshe, as a medrash describing the story that I just told you, Shmi'atam Mevakesh Shlit'a. You want to know my name, meaning my explicit name? L'fi Masai Ani Nikra. You're only going to know my Maisa. This is the Pirush of the first few psukim in Ve'era. Pamim nikra bekel shakai, bitzik v'kais, be'eloikim, be'havaya. Kishani donas habriyas ani nikra elikim, kishani oisem milchama b'rshayim ani nikra tzvakais, kishani toilech hatav shel adam, when I'm having mercy on a person and I'm not punishing him because of his sins, ani nikra kel shakai. Shani merachim elamai ani nikra havaya, yud kei vav kei. And that's the pshat, says the Medrash, Asher where all those names are in there. Ani Nikra Lafi Masai. So we have a clear conversation in the Medrash that Moshe Rabbeinu is asking at this point for the Shem HaMefarish, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling him, you're only going to know what I do, you're not going to know what I am.
Don't we say that he used the Shem HaMefarish to kill the Egyptian who was...
A Shem, he used the Shem. He used the Shem. The first, at the beginning there of the story, you mean in Shmos.
Yeah.
Right, so he had a stick, and the stick had the Shem HaMefarish written on it because it was a stick that was a Yerusha from Adam HaRishon, and he was able to hold the stick and used the Shem HaMefarish, but didn't understand it. Possibly, according to some, he didn't know, the Rabbeinu Bechaya in Chumash says he didn't know how to pronounce it even. He just knew that this was a holy thing. So let me take you this medrash. Let me take you, as I said, on a short journey here. In the Medrash Rabbah, Bamidbar Rabbah, Parshas Chukas.
Where was that previous medrash?
The Nefesh HaChaim brings. Vayera.
I don't see source.
Vayera. Shmois Rabbah Parsha Gimel. I'll show you something very interesting. That not in Shmois Rabbah, but in Bamidbar Rabbah, in Parshas Chukas, Chukas talks about what? First thing? Paradum. And here the Medrash talks about V'yicha Elecha Paraduma. The Moshe Rabbeinu, again, we're learning today about the struggles of Moshe Rabbeinu. The very deep spiritual struggles of Moshe Rabbeinu. You know, I always think, I never know if I'm allowed to think this, but I think it anyways, I'll say it. That Moshe Rabbeinu sort of started out as like when he was still in Mitzrayim the first time, he started out like being concerned with the Jewish people's welfare, like a civil rights leader. And then by the time he got to Har Sinai, and through Yisroi, and through the Midbar, and the Sneh, he became the Navi of all Nevi'im. Meaning, you see, the part I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say is you see a growth in Moshe Rabbeinu himself. He started off just caring for other people. What do you lamataka Esreacha? What's going on here? What are you beating other people for? You know, something that any sensitive person will see. Slaves. Even though it was in the mother's milk in Egypt, to Jews or slaves,
And the sheep. You care about sheep.
Yeah, in America it was a davar pashut, like the blacks are slaves. Nobody thought it was unethical. That's what you do. It's just like nobody thinks it's unethical to eat steak. I mean, that's what it's for. That's the way Hashem made the world. Even the religious people, the religious Christians, they used to do it. Religious Jews probably too. Torah as slaves. So to say but Moshe Rabbeinu, like in a sensitivity, broke through all that, and he said, "This is wrong. Lama sakireacha, one person hurting another person." So that's where he used the Shem HaMefarish. But he went on, and he became more spiritual and more holy until like Yisrael Navi Moshe. So at some point, by the time I got to Parshas Chukas, Moshe Rabbeinu was getting the mitzvahs and he wanted to understand the Paraduma. No, we all know you can't understand the Paraduma, which is the part that's hard to understand. And how could it be that the same animal, which is Matayr Tzmeim, is Matame Tahir? Okay, like it's a paradox. So it says Medrash, Amar Rabbi Yossi Reb Chanina, Amar Lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Moshe L'chani Megala Tam Para. Aval Acher Chuka. I will tell you the pshat in the Paraduma, but to everybody else it's going to be a chak. Amar Rav Huna Ksiv Ki Echach Maydani Mesharim Eshboi. Ksiv V'Haya B'Yam Mahula Yeh Or Yikaris V'Kipayin. Anyways, according to him, Moshe Rabbeinu did catch it a little bit. And he had a 1-minute gilui. So it says the Medrash, Shekvara Asisi, because I already put in the Bria, like maybe the Tam of the Paraduma should never be revealed. So he says, no, Kfar Asisi, I already revealed it anyways. Rabbi Akiva v'Chaverav. Now, wrap your brain around this. Moshe Rabbeinu is trying to understand the Paraduma. Maybe I'll give it to you as a gift. Shlomo HaMelech is trying to understand the Paraduma, and Hashem says, no gift for you. You're not. Shlomo HaMelech, Chacham Mikol Adam. You can't understand the Paraduma. I didn't really tell Moshe Rabbeinu the whole thing. Shlomo HaMelech didn't tell anything, but Rabbi Akiva, you get the whole story. So it says here. Dvarim shaloi niglu l'Moshe, niglu l'Rabbi Akiva v'Chaver. What's the raya? Says the Medrash. This is a pretty heavy statement on Rabbi Akiva. Because it says in Eov, v'chol yikar rasa einoi. The whole thing, chol yikar, the whole treasure, Rasa Einoi, his eyes saw. How do we know that's talking about Rabbi Akiva? Because Rasa Einoi, Rabbi Akiva, that's the Rasa Einoi, Rish.
Rabbi, you've got the other example, the Torah is tagging.
Yeah, 1 second. Choyikar Rasa Einoi, the Mefarshim say, it goes deeper than Reish Ayin, which is Rabbi Akiva. Choyikar Rasa Einoi, if you'll count it, is exactly the gematria of Moshe for Rabbi Akiva. Like that. It's exact gematria. So Chazal knew that. Choyikar Rasa Einoi, Zeh Rabbi Akiva v'chavera. It's talking about who got to see the whole picture? Rabbi Akiva. It's nice to say on his yard site, but but we need to understand it here. Choyikar Rasa Einoi. So we know, as Doran says, the Gemara in Menachos. The Gemara in Menachos says that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was getting the Torah, standing by the Kisei HaKavod, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him the video of the future of the Torah, and he saw Moshe Rabbeinu teaching his Talmidim. V'hayadarish halachos tilei shel halachos al kol kutzei shel yud.
Rabbi Akiva was
Rabbi
teaching.
Akiva. What is it?
Moshe.
Rabbi Akiva. Moshe Rabbeinu saw Rabbi Akiva's darish. Chol shadaitoi, chalisha sadas. I don't even know this stuff. How could it be? So you see already that Rabbi Akiva knew something that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't see. Kivin Sheshama, since he heard that Rabbi Akiva said, Halach al Moshe Mesinayu, this call comes from Moshe, this Yasvadaita. He had Yishuv Adas. Pella Gemara, first of all, how did Rabbi Akiva know that what Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know? And second of all, who's Moshe Rabbeinu fooling? If he didn't know it, so he's saying, well, it came from me. Okay, so the simple pshat is that he was able to extrapolate from the words of Moshe Rabbeinu and create even more in it than Moshe Rabbeinu. It's not so hard to understand. You could have a scientist comes up with a theory, and then the applications are much wider than the theory itself. I was reading Einstein said when they blew up Hiroshima, he said if I would have known that, I would have never revealed the whole theory. But even the Chacham Mikol Adam didn't think it through that people could use this for such destruction, mass destruction, and continue to. So that's the Gemara. So we already see that there was a Gila, but here the Gemara, the Mishnah Medrash says it so much more succinctly, if you will, that what Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know, Rabbi Akiva knew, Ki'ilu, he knew the time of the Parah Adumah. Rabbi Akiva. The beginning of the pasuk here. Now let me just travel with me for a minute. The pasuk in Eov goes, B'tzur, you look it up in Eov Chavches Yud, B'tzurais Ya'orim Baka, V'chol Yikar Rasa Einoi. That B'tzurais meaning mountains, fortresses, rock, Tzur Yisrael, right? B'tzurais Ya'orim Baka, rivers, Eov said, rivers will break them down, like imagine a river breaking through a mountain. And when that happens, says Eov, V'chol Yikar Rasa Einoi, you'll see magnificent things. It's an amazing pasuk. So the Chidush HaRadal on the Medrash says that this pasuk is a remiss to Rabbi Akiva, also the whole pasuk, because Rabbi Akiva saw what exactly? Rabbi Akiva, how did Rabbi Akiva get started? He was walking as we all walk. He saw stones like we all saw stones. He saw a hole in the stone like we all see holes in the stones. And the difference is Rabbi Akiva stopped and he said, Mazeh, how does a hole get in the stone? It's important to be Medai. We see this all every day. Listen, see. How did he get there? A little bit of intelligence. And while he's thinking, a drop of water fell on the stone. Could it be that a drop of water fell on the stone, and then another 10 minutes, another drop of water, and he realized that over the centuries, water can get its way through stone. So this is similar to the pasuk in Eov, that B'tzoros Ya'orim Baka. You see that a river, and if you'll take that to its If you take that to its final analysis, you keep on going with that, you extrapolate, so you'll see that, okay, a river can break a stone. And Nasa, Rabbi Akiva, Kal v'chomer la'atzmai. And Rabbi Akiva made a Kal v'chomer. This was Rabbi Akiva's first Kal v'chomer. Rabbi Akiva was the famous Kal v'chomer man. This was his first Kal v'chomer. If water can break through a stone, water is soft, stones are hard, how much more so can Torah, which is fire, break through my heart, which is soft. That was his Osiris. Okay, so the pshat is that, okay, but what's that? Why is, that was what he saw. He saw a Kal v'chomer, he learned a lesson, a good musar. I had a great day in the field today, great musar from the rock. I realized that even my heart is penetratable, which is a
Penetrable.
thank you. So the pshat is no. Chol Yakara saying when he saw that, he saw everything. It's not that he saw, oh, I can do it too, like a self-help, experience, an epiphany of some sort. No, Chol Yakara saying he saw everything at that moment. Why did he see everything? In the Chedush Aradel, he says that L'chayr is referring to this Mayim Shirash Amayim Baka B'tzuris Avanim V'zeh Zachal Lirais Einai Kol Yikar V'zeh Davar Pele. He said, this is a Pele.
What do we mean everything?
What does it mean everything? What the Medrash is putting this in context is he understood Paradum at this moment. So I'm just looking at the Mefarshim of the Medrash Rabbah. You go down to the Yedei Moshe, and his Mefarish. What did he see? Everything. So first of all, let's remember the context of the Medrash. The context of the Medrash is that what Hashem was not revealing to Moshe Rabbeinu, he was revealing to Rabbi Akiva. So apparently whatever happened there in the stone was a revelation that even Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have. It was deeper than we think. So he says here, Lefi Shira HaPanim. He saw the panim, right? You remember Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hareini nas kvoidcha, I want to see your kavod. Hareini nas panecha, let me see your face. What did Hashem say? Lo yarani adam uchai. The Chazal, I can show you the kesher shel tefillin. Right, you should stand, but nikras atzur, vani aver lefanecha, and you'll see my back. There's panai lo yero. You'll see my back, but you won't see my face. So Moshe Rabbeinu got pretty close. He saw the back of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He couldn't see his face. I don't. By the way, I'm not professing to know what any of this means. I'm just saying, like Lefi Hasaga saying, that we can all see the back of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning, you can look back in history, or you can look at even the panorama of our own lives, and things that we couldn't understand while we were going into it, not be told what's going on, where is God? Looking backwards, you can see it. Panai, to see it going in, that's already more complicated. that's already Panai lo yero. So most of us that are looking can look back. 20 years tells a story. Look back and see HaKadosh Baruch Hu in history. Not that that in itself is an easy thing to swallow, but. Okay, somehow or another, you look at the sequence of the world and you see we got to Eretz Yisrael here today. Complicated, but that's seeing the back. That's the back of Hashem, like you're seeing, lahavdil, a person who's walking. You can see the back. You can see the front. What is this? What's going on later? Rabbi Akiva saw the front. Panai lo yero lefi shira rak achorei shechina, because Moshe Rabbeinu only saw achorei shechina. Kidechsiv v'risas achorei.
So how did he live?
Because it was only Moshe Rabbeinu had that problem, which we have to explain. V'zeh ma she'amru, this is what the Medrash means, that it says dvarim shalei niskalu l'Moshe niskalu Rabbi Akiva. And then he says a nice little drasha here. The Siv, La Yehudim, Haisa, Ira, V'simcha, V'sasa, and V'yikar. The Gemara says in Megillah, what's a V'yikar? Zu tefillin. Im kain, Hayov, Or Yikarais, right? Tefillin. V'yikar, V'yehudim, Haisa, Ira, V'simcha, V'sasa, and V'yikar. Gabi Rabbi Kiva Ksivu Kli Yakar Shara Tefillin Shoraish. Rabbi Kiva saw the Tefillin Shoraish. Gabi Moshe Rabbeinu Ksivu Ruisa Sachayrai. Kasher Shal Tefillin. The Loi Ra Ksitza Shal Raish. He didn't see the Tefillin Shoraish. Al Karchach She Yosher Niskala Rabbi Kiva and Moshe Rabbeinu. The Doik. The shot is that Rabbi Kiva. So okay, now this is getting interesting here. That Rabbi Kiva. Moshe Rabbeinu said, let me see your face. Hashem said, I can only see my back. Rabbi Kiva said, I don't know if he asked, we don't know that he asked, but he wanted to see, he said just, the Tillim here was David HaMelech. David HaMelech in Perek. Perek Mem Beis. Lam Natseach Maskil Ivnei Koirach Ki Ayol Taroi Galafike Moyim. David HaMelech is begging. We explained it last time. Like a gazelle gives out a geshrai, alafike mayim. He knows that's where it is. We spoke both about the fast waters. Do you remember? We spoke about the fast waters in the desert. The afikim, Negev. The fast waters in the Negev is where the water quickly gathers into one place when there's a downpour. And the gazelles know exactly where to go, but he runs there and he doesn't find the water. And gives out a ariga, a moan. And David HaMelech says, Ka'ayol tareg alafike mayim, kein nafshi sareg elecha elikim. I'm giving off the same moan. What's my moan? Sama nafshi elikim, my nefesh is thirsting for elikim, lekel chai, masai avai ve'erah penei elikim. When do I get to see the face? The David HaMelech was struggling. This was the spiritual struggle. Moshe Rabbeinu, David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, Rabbi Kiva got to see the Pnei Elokim. Pella. No, I mean, how could Niskat Na'aders? What happened to Niskat Na'aders?
As Adam v'chai, so Moshe had a bechina of Adam, and perhaps Rabbi Kiva and
Rabbi, is the relevance in Moshe was by Sur and Rabbi Akiva was by Sela?
Yafet. It all happened around rocks and water anyway, right? It's all about rocks and water.
Adding on to what he's saying, but by Kiva, the water made us erosion in the stone. By Moshe, the snare and then it will call it means the fire had no effect on the snare. There's some cashier here that based on that's why maybe one some more.
Gavalda guitars. But I just want to point out from the pasuk that David HaMelech also said, Masai avai ve'erah pnei. Every time I think I'm understanding, this is what he says here, simple shot. Every time I think I'm understanding the Pnei Elikim, I get to the fast waters and the water is gone. I'm not. It vanishes as I approach it. It's like, I can't see it. Rabbi Kiva got it.
Also, Rabbi Akiva didn't ask for it.
That we know. But he saw something. What did he see by the rock? The water going on the rock. What he saw was, in simple English, everything is possible. But it was. Let me just say this, and then I want to just read you for 5 minutes or something. I believe that Moshe Rabbeinu, David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, they're asking for a gilui. I want to see the Pnei Elikim. Be Megala, tell me. Am I a tzaddik? I want to see the Pnei Elikim. Rabbi Kiva, the lesson of the stone was I'm not asking for a gilui. I'm willing to do a lot of hard work. I'm not saying Moshe Rabbeinu was not willing to do a lot of hard work, but in other words, Rabbi Kiva was the master of v'chomer, nosa kal v'chomer lasmi. Using every koach that I have in my system to try to understand something. So can I understand it as a giloy? It's not going to happen. Lo yirani adam chai. That's a riyah. Rabbi Kiva was not asking for that. Rabbi Kiva is saying, I'm willing to spend the next 80 years of my life struggling to understand the Pnei Elikim. difference between the Ruach HaKodesh, difference between Isarusa D'Leil and Isarusa D'Lasata, the difference in what the Gemara says in B'chayres, Chacham Adif Minavi.
And you related to the story where Rabbi Akiva went up with 3 other big Gedolim to
Exactly
the
what it
pardes,
relates to
and
the story.
He's the only one that.
And let me explain. Let me
What did
explain
you see there?
how it's related to Arba Nichnasu L'Pardes.
Facetious, but in a sense it's partial, because Moshe was living with Bnei Israel at the Kufa, which is Kulonisim. It was an Elokim. And Rabbi Akiva was the Torah
You know-
brought down to the culture.
Could it be that the Musar that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving Moshe Rabbeinu, the beauty of the Torah is that we even hear about the Musar that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Moshe Rabbeinu. We hear about the HaChaim of Moshe Rabbeinu. But could it be that what Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu is, you're asking me? Struggle. You'll see what I do. You're asking me for a gilui? Va'era? The others didn't ask me for a gilui. Rabbi Akiva didn't ask me for a gilui. Why are you asking me for such a gilui, to be megala? Freebie? A nevuah? You want it as a nevuah, lawyer on the other one. Rabbi Akiva is coming from a completely different makom. We're out of time in a minute, but I want to learn with you on Sunday here at Hashem, the whole paragraph of Reb Tzaddik. But I just want to read to you one sentence. One sentence. Rabbi Akiva haya yachal lahasig yoser. Rabbi Akiva was able to see more than Moshe Rabbeinu. Al yedei, because sha'asagosei ba'or she'enoi mavik u'mavrik kol kach. See, the Chazal say that Moshe Rabbeinu was like the sun, and Yoshua was like the moon. You could look at the moon, you can't look at the sun. Last night, was once in a blue moon. millions of people are looking at and you don't even need special glasses, anything. You're looking at the sun. It's hard to see the sun. It's dangerous to see the sun. So it's interesting. The sun is too close. The sun is the makor of or. The moon is reflective. The reflection you can see. What Moshe Rabbeinu was looking for, this was Reb Tzaddik, was I want to see the sun. You can't see the sun too much. What Rabbi Akiva was looking at the moon. Why is he looking at the moon? Not because it's easier, because it's harder. In other words, he's looking at the moon this is what happens with the sun. In other words, the chachma, the bechina of chachma that Rabbi Akiva is talking about, is that if I can take the sunlight, let it work its way through my brain, through my heart, through my system. If I can integrate everything that you have, and now it becomes me, I can look at that now and I can examine it. I've put it through a filtration system of the human condition, which allows the or hachama to be filtered into the or alavana. And once it's the or alavana, I could somehow get it better than you can get it, Moshe Rabbeinu. Do you understand this? When Moshe Rabbeinu, the epiphany of the stone, the water going on the stone, is that there is a derech, but it takes a long time, and it's not obvious, and it's mamash tzibisalach, mat, but it's that there is a possibility, and this is apparently he wasn't struggling with walking on the street. Oh, manu bal tshuva, how am I going to learn? I'm too old to learn. Maybe he was struggling with that also. I don't think so. I think what he was struggling is, am I able, I have a regesh about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what it was. It was a spiritual experience. A spiritual epiphany. And the spiritual epiphany is that with a huge amount of work, where I can take it and turn the Or HaChama into the Or HaLevana, and be myself a reflection of that Or, Yitachen, then now I can have it. And that was the epiphany, and that was Chol Yikar Isi, and you're able to see the whole thing that way. You can take a telescope, you can look at the moon, the sun, very difficult. It's by filtering it through the human. This is Ba'atzem what HaKadosh Baruch Hu's intention is. This is Tzimtzum. So we need to talk about the Tzimtzum, but the Tzimtzum that we're talking about with Rabbi Akiva is I could take it and I can bring it down to earth. If I can bring it down to earth already, I can understand. Then it's manageable for me. It's something I could look at, something I could see. I could take it. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but this is a basic scientific method that I could take it to a point where I could put it in my laboratory and I could look at it. That's what I could see. Stop talking about could I take War and Peace and put it into a laboratory? Probably, But could I take diseases that are, God forbid, killing millions of people, put it into my laboratory? Probably. So if I can bring it into the place of the moon, I can examine it. So what Mashi Hisig, Rabbi Akiva, because he was being masig the or halavana and not the or hachama. As Reb Tzadok explains this very beautifully with where we see this in Rabbi Akiva that he understood. It wasn't, we see it in Rabbi Akiva and in his Talmud Reb Meir. But part of I just want to end with what you mentioned. The Gemara says that arba nichnasu lepardes, meaning Rabbi Akiva did some sort of an exercise with his closest talmidim, Ben Azai, Ben Zoyma, Elisha Ben Avuya, closest talmidim, Chachmei Ador. Nichnasu lepardes probably means that he tried to understand the tsaros that the Romans are causing us. How could it be that we're suffering so much? What's the pshat and the golos that we're all going through? Rabbi Akiva himself was killed in this golos. Asar Erugei Malchus, not to mention millions of others.
So says they went up to find out if things there was.
They went to understand. Nichnasu l'pshat, Remez, Drush, Soid. They nichnasu l'pardes. They went up, they went down, they went to the side. I don't know, but they delved into the Indian of the pardes. But Azai hitzitz v'meis. Ben Azai died from the experience. Ben Zoyma hitzitz v'taraf. Ben Zoyma went crazy from the experience. Elisha ben Avuya katzatz ben Atiyah. It's interesting, and I want to tell you this. Katzatz ben Atiyah is pashut pshat. Katzatz ben Atiyah says he was cutting. Rashi says that he was cutting off the plant from its makar. Meaning, I can see, said Elisha ben Avuya, it was a big gadol, but I can see the maisim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which was in that case suffering, death, slavery, starvation. I don't see HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, so there's a disconnect between the Ribono Shel Olam and his maisim. Katzatz ben Atiyah. That's what Katzatz ben Atiyah says. I don't see it. And he became an apokris. Because if this is our rave in Parshas Vayera. I want to see the name. You're telling me the name, but I want to see the atzmusai. I already know it's Banach. I need to see the connection. Rabbi Akiva, nichnas b'shalom v'yotza b'shalom. Rabbi Akiva got it. It was okay with Rabbi Akiva. Beyond the scope of what we're talking about today. Rabbi Akiva was okay. He was connecting because Rabbi Akiva was able to see what Moshe Rabbeinu even wasn't able to see. He was able to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu and how it relates to this world through Torah Shabbat Peh. This is not a shmooze about how much Gemara you have to learn. That's what I'm saying. Through how the Mayim, the same way the Mayim pierces a rock, it can be that the Kedushas Hashem pierces this world, and you can see in the world the Pnei Hashem. Mamish the Pnei Hashem, Mashallah, Hisig Moshe Rabbeinu, Hisig Rabbi Akiva. So we need to learn more about it, but this was the introduction to the Sugya. Yes.
We learned that in Perek Aleph, that Adam and Moshe Rabbeinu and Mashiach have a unique mission.
Adam, David, Mashiach.
David Mashiach?
Adam.
It wasn't Moshe.
Adam, David, Mashiach. Adam.
There's significance that Rabbi Akiva was nichnas b'shalom. Was he the only one that was nichnas b'shalom? Like, could that be the deal?
He was on the Madrega, and the Shlemus was in Torah Shabbat Peh. So he was on a high enough Madrega that he was able, because he went through the rock, water in the rock situation, he was able to integrate the whole thing together.
That's the way he came in, meaning
he went in that way.
The only one that came in with shalom?
Yeah.
It's like
Shlemus.
something of a meat of shlemus that he came in
Shlemus.
with.
So, Lo Yirani Is derech riyah, you can't achieve it, but you
But
can achieve it indirectly.
That's the chiddush.
That's how electron microscope works, or an MRI machine. It bounces stuff off. You infer from the reflection,
bounce.
from the reflection, what's going on, or ultrasound. All those, it's inferring from.
See, most of us are like, what they call it, Monday morning quarterback. Like back, he should have done that. He should have, like as a HaChaim, everyone sees this panai to be able to call it as it's happening. So that was Rabbi Kiva able to do. In other words, that was the nichnas b'shalom, the Gil stuff. The nichnas b'shalom was he was able to call it chorois.
Is this pasuk where we get the term Oker Harim from?
Oh, very nice.
I mean, I think like considered the.
But no, what's interesting is Moshe Rabbeinu was Sinai.
And he was the Oker Harim.
He wasn't like
He wasn't the
Sinai.
Very
That's
good.
the Kavanah. That's it. Blocks.
Everything has a reason.
Yeah. Did I write the letter? Yeah. I got a letter from Kala that said that the issue is, that's why I didn't write it. I'm confused a little bit. The issue is that they need an original document. That was the issue. So
I have the original document
That seems to be
Kala's
the-
conversion. I have the original.
well, that's all I'm going to write about anyway. But what they want to see, this is Hana said, I sent me an email. I was confused about this. They need to, the problem is they need to see an original document.
That showing that what?
I guess that
That she was
Jewish.
born
That she's Jewish.
That kind of Jewish.
Yeah, well, it's
Well,
easy to.
I have the original.
But that's what she needs. She doesn't need a letter from me. She needs
Their own, huh?
Their own.
That's what Hana said. It's like if you need something from me, I'm happy to do it. I'm not this afternoon. I'll write it up. I'm just saying I don't think.
I'll give her a call.
I couldn't wrap my brain around what good is it going to be. What good is it going to do for me to write a letter that I already wrote 40 years ago?
Right, so maybe they saw the copy.
Oh, so the answer is.
They saw the copy. I saved the original.
I
for
can't
this
write an
reason.
original document that's going to have Rav Shochet's signature on it, and Rav Shochet's signature is the one that they're going to be happy with anyway. So that's why, I mean, they'll be happy with me in a way, but I'm on their list. Rav Shochet is very few, like I'm recognized as a rabbi. To be recognized to be able to do conversion and Kutzlars, they have a very short list. And Shochet's on the list, so they want to see.
Okay.
Rav Shochet front. He's on the very short list. I
saved the original just for this reason.
So that's the thing.
It was left in my house.
You've got to go, that's my understanding. I'm happy to do whatever you want.
Okay.
We did it. Right. But there are laws. Breaking the law. You need